All right, it's 1 minute after. I feel good. I feel like this is going to be a great webinar. And I just want to say welcome one more time. We're going to have a sit down with Sami Peltonen. He's our SVP for product development. And without further ado, I will start us. So, as said, my name is Rowan Lemley. I'm the Director of Product Marketing here at PairSoft, and I'm going to basically interview Sami, which means if you guys have any questions that you'd like Sami to answer throughout the course of this webinar, I'd love for you to just use that chat feature and throw your question out. I will do my best to screen those questions and get them in front of Sami, but I won't guarantee it. But what I will guarantee is if you ask a question and I don't answer it in the course of this webinar, or Sami doesn't answer it in the course of this webinar, we will get back to you and make sure that you get an answer to your question, because every question is great. Sami, welcome to the webinar.
Thank you, Rowan. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. And for those who don't know me yet, I'm Sami, responsible for the product portfolio here at PairSoft. And I am living here in Finland, in Northern Europe, exactly where Rowan also happens to be today. And from here, I'm leading our global team that is actually quite literally spread across the entire globe. So super happy to be here speaking with you.
I'm excited too, Sami. I'm here right now in this beautiful city of Helsinki with you, but too often I'm on the west coast of Canada, and it's great to be close. So we've got 30 minutes today. I believe I've done all the housekeeping in terms of, if you have a question, ask it. I will do my very best to introduce it to conversation. And yeah, I hope this is exciting for everyone. It's exciting to me. This is our agenda. We're going to talk a little bit about what got us here. Effectively, that's who PairSoft is, very briefly. Then I'm going to hand over to Sami. He's going to talk through design principles, development themes, and our roadmap, and then segue into development highlights. And you're probably all aware of the impending launch of analytics, and that's what Sami's going to focus in on. And then we'll tie it all together. If we have time to do a Q&A at the end of this in 28 minutes, we absolutely can. But like I said, if you have a question or a comment, use the chat, and feel free to chat amongst yourselves, comment amongst yourselves, etc. All right, so who PairSoft is. Some of you may be new customers, some of you maybe have been with us a while, some of you will be sort of a PaperSave customer, or a Workplace or a DocuP customer. You can see that we've been around for a while, in fact, since 1995, so we've got a great heritage. But PairSoft as a company was only founded in 2020 as the merger of three highly successful procure-to-pay solutions. We've got some great logos. You guys on the call undoubtedly are among them. Maybe you see yourself here. We do have about 2,000 customers, and we've got 175 employees, and we're growing pretty quick. So what we do, sorry, just getting a phone call here. Perfect. So what we do is procure to pay, and pretty much every customer on this call is going to have a piece of this. Very few of you are going to have all of it, but it's pretty interesting to know what the portfolio is, just in case you're interested in broadening your usage. We do everything, and I'm going to go from the left to the right, from procurement solutions around sort of catalogs, whether they're internal or punch outs, the procurement management. So we're talking direct to PO here. Scan and capture, we have a couple great OCR solutions. We do gift and donation management, which is super important for many not-for-profits, as well as education sector. Invoice automation, of course, is our sweet spot, and document management as well. In fact, it's too difficult to pick just one that we are passionate about, because we've got such a diverse portfolio. And then payments, and that is a teaser, and I'll say no more. I'll let Sami talk a little bit further about that. So what we're talking about with no act predict, so what we want is for our customers to be able to sort of know the state of their process and be able to take action with the information that we are able to provide them. Analytics, which we'll talk about later, is going to highlight that. And then, of course, eventually we want you to be able to predict what it is that's going to be causing disruption, and again, be able to take action to reduce it. Know, act, predict. Super important for us. So with that super brief intro, I'm going to jump into our development themes. And with that, Sami, I will hand over to you and I will ask you to explain our design principles.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to do so. So as I said, we have a rather sizable global development organization nowadays, consisting 70 professionals working in many different locations. And in order to ensure consistent outcomes, we have defined a few key design principles that guide us in all of our development. So it is very important for us to keep our long-term strategic vision clearly in our minds when we are designing the software, and then keep constantly delivering small increments that would be easy to adopt by you, our customers. So that's the agile mindset we are having. And then I would say, most importantly, we want to develop together with you, our customers. And I think that analytics, which we will be focusing on today, analytics is a great example of a project in which we have gotten a ton of amazingly valuable input and feedback while designing the solution. So thanks for all of you that have been part of that journey. And I think we can move to the next slide, Rovan. So I wanted to also show a bit what are our big development pillars we are working with during next 12 months or so. So today we will be speaking quite a bit about analytics, which I am super excited about as we are approaching the launch date of invoice automation analytics. We will have the ultimate release available in June. And then our next big milestone will be payments that will basically complete the entire financial process from procurement to actual payment. And we want to be a forerunner when it comes to connecting procurement and payments and all other financial workflows, and deliver holistic visibility to ensure that the finance and procurement teams are having shared priorities rather than conflicting ones. Because, for example, let's say you want to aim for generating some new revenue streams by moving some of your payments to virtual card, which will give you rebates. Now, that target, as an example, should then also guide your procurement team while they are selecting and prioritizing which vendors to work with. So, to achieve this sort of end-to-end holistic visibility, we want to also add payments to our platform, and then you are able to handle the whole process within a single solution. And then in the end, if you look at our 12 months horizon, our ultimate goal is to also renew our procurement solution and bring all financial workflows to single tool. So procurement, invoice processing, expenses, donations, sales orders, so everything. And that's something we are launching quite accurately 12 months from now. And we will be doing a ton of co-design with you to get there. So that's how it looks from the overall bigger development theme standpoint.
Sami, I think this is super interesting. I know you and I have had lots of conversation around sort of broad themes of sort of technology and technology adoption themes that are impacting organizations, small, medium, and large organizations. And basically some of those super top themes are in the field of analytics. Payment technology has had an absolute renaissance last couple of years. So if an organization isn't taking advantage of new payment technology, well, maybe they're missing a trick. And then of course, cloud solutions. It feels, you and I have been in the business for a while, but it feels like cloud kind of has been around forever, but that's not the same as saying everybody is on it or all solutions that they're using are on it. So this PairSoft 1.0 is pretty exciting. Full purchase to pay, native cloud-based architecture. Lots to be excited about.
Indeed, and one of the key sort of building blocks and elements in our PairSoft 1.0 platform will also be the sort of next generation or next level of automation. So bigger your volumes are, more important it will be to be able to automate lots of those workflows. And we are experimenting, for example, with machine learning, and there will be some really interesting innovations we are about to pilot with you to increase the automation rates with your financial document workflows.
Really interesting, really interesting. And just for the audience, if I don't know if you're hearing it or you're not hearing it, but Sami talks a lot about code development, and I know that's one of the design principles, and he's mentioning it in terms of payments and PairSoft 1.0. What that means in practice is things like basically focus groups, beta testing, early adoption. These are things that we can't do without you, of course, and so we are building, and we've started with the analytics project, and probably even before that, a community around code development. So stay aware for that, and yeah, it's a pretty exciting place to be in, and we couldn't do it without you. So shall I move us along, Sami?
Let's do so.
All right. So now we're gonna, oh no, this is your slide, go.
Yeah, I mean, very, very shortly about the bit more detailed roadmap. I spoke about this in our quarterly customer webinar just a few weeks back, so I'm not going to spend too much time with this today, as we want to really focus on analytics. But wanted to remind you that in addition to these big strategic themes, we also invest heavily in delivering further improvements to all of our 3 brands, PaperSave, Workplace, DocuPeak, and to all processes from invoice automation to donation management and document management. So many very valuable features have been already released this year and will be released during upcoming quarters. With those words, I think we should then move to analytics, and would you, Roman, first want to tell us why invoice automation analytics is so exciting?
Oh yeah, no, I appreciate that. No, analytics is really exciting. If you haven't seen it, and I know there have been some small introductions here and there, it's pretty sexy. So in some ways you could say it's just it's as simple as a visualization tool, and that's absolutely true. But it's amazing what you can do just when you look at information differently. And that's kind of what analytics does. So we've all heard, that quote from, it's at least attributed to Peter Drucker: you can't improve what you don't measure. And that's what we want to help you do here. We want to use the tool to measure your process so that you can actually improve it here. And so what I've got are some stats that we're looking at. On the left-hand side in gray, you've got some average KPIs, and then on the right-hand side, we've got best in class. So, everyone on the call, you guys maybe you're going to know what you actually have in terms of an average invoice cycle time. An industry average that I found was about 25 days for a small to medium-sized company, whereas the best in class are able to do that in 3 days. Process an invoice from receipt to ready for payment. Another interesting statistic was around how many invoices the average AP manager can process in an hour, 5 invoices. And of course, best in class can do it a little bit faster than that with 30 invoices. Cost to process an invoice, that's actually pretty difficult to measure, but when we have seen statistics around it, and there are lots of different ways to measure it, it's about $14 to $30 per invoice, whereas the best in class are able to do it in 7. I've seen that 7 number be even closer to 3. So again, some companies are incredibly efficient. But yeah, so this is why we're really excited about analytics, because we think that by measuring your process with KPIs and some sort of industry standard metrics, you'll be able to gain insight into how to improve, where are the bottlenecks, who in particular is a bottleneck, whether it's a vendor or an approver within your organization. So we're hoping you guys find it pretty exciting too, because when you start improving your process and going from 25 days to 3 days, you start opening the door for early payment discounts. When you start going from 5 invoices an hour to 30 invoices an hour, you start lowering the transactional costs and the amount of FTEs in the organization handling invoices. So there is cost savings as well. Well, that's why I'm excited about analytics, but let's jump in and see it. How about that, Tim?
Sounds great. Yeah. So this is what we are building, and you know, we totally understand that you know, many of you want to run reporting and some analytics outside our tool in your BI system, and you know, that's what I would do. So, but with our invoice automation analytics, we are really focusing on 2 things. So we want to bring our best practice experience on invoice processing concretely to the tool and deliver KPIs and other metrics to help you in improving your process. And then secondly, we want to leverage our amazing cloud customer community to collect and show anonymized benchmark information so that you can see how you are doing with your process comparing to your peers using the same PairSoft cloud solution. So, so the metrics we have here, they are basically like by the book invoice processing KPIs that I would say most companies follow to become better with their process, which then drives savings in the cost of operations. You know, it drives better control, compliancy, and it eventually also drives even better vendor relationship, you know, assuming that as a result of improved invoice process, your vendors would get their invoices paid quicker and so on. In first version of analytics, we will deliver 7 key KPIs around AP automation, invoice automation, and you can select which ones you want to follow, which ones are the most important KPIs for you. And then we will add more KPIs a little later, especially with the launch of payment offering we have been talking about a bit. We will be able to add few more KPIs measuring payment behavior. So there will be a bunch of new KPIs then added after the first version. So that's sort of one part of the analytics. The KPI screen with the benchmarking information allows you to set your targets to be ambitious ones, because you can see that some other companies have been able to achieve those benchmark levels already. And then you can follow how you are doing.
A couple things, Sami. So I just realized that I didn't update the slide. I'm glad you caught that. So what I've just, and this I'm just speaking to the audience here. So what I wrote there on the left, KPIs are static in the first release. In fact, they're not. They're already changeable. It's pretty exciting. We have, as discussed, talked about co-development. We do have a beta program going on right now that literally anyone could join if you were interested. Just shoot us an email. And so we've already made changes, which included the 3 additional KPIs and the interchangeability. Some KPIs you might look at, like invoice with purchase order or the sustainability index. Do you want to talk at all about that, Sami, in terms of, somebody on the call might not have a procurement system, for example?
Yeah, I mean, for example, sustainability index, that's one way how we want to also sort of bring the perspective of green values, social responsibility. So as we have been speaking with many of you and many procurement and AP automation leaders, it's becoming evident that many companies are no longer like only thinking about the financial values and hard dollar savings, but also the sustainability related factors when they are, for example, deciding which vendors to work with. So here we want to measure how many of your invoices actually are received electronically, because that's obviously driving the sustainability. Just one example of how we are starting to embed the sustainability thinking in our solution. And as Rovan said, not everybody is obviously using procurement, so then it's totally fine to also only follow those invoice process KPIs that have nothing to do with POs. But obviously, if you really want to automate, if you really want to get sort of touchless with your invoice process, then expanding to procurement and starting to raise POs might be a good idea in the end.
Yeah.
Right.
Very, very interesting.
Yeah,
I'll move this on. I know, no, there's always so much to say. My only other thing to say is around sustainability index. We are transitioning to measuring sustainability, but don't be fooled. E-invoicing and the volume of e-invoicing is one of the biggest value drivers for AP automation. So
that's a great
I'm sure everyone knows that, but I like to say it anyways. So tell us about this one, Sami.
Sure. So this is then another part of our analytics package. It has totally different purpose, which basically is to get a consolidated visual view on what's going on in your invoice process right now. So it allows you to be at the driver's seat with your process, steer it, and especially you can direct your attention to the most important matters using this particular dashboard. Be it invoices being late already, or invoices being stuck at some part of the process, or with the user that just happened to go to a long PTO with inbox full of critical invoices. And what is very exciting here is that this is totally actionable. So you can click any element, any information here, and it lets you drill down to the underlying invoice documents directly. So if you want to dive deeper to understand why invoices are overdue, or you see pile of invoices in an inbox of someone who's on vacation, you can zoom in and act with those invoices right away. So the purpose of this screen really is to give you a visual visibility on your ongoing invoice process.
I quite like this, and it won't be clear necessarily to everyone on the call, but this is an alternative view to the classic list view that many of the people using our AP automation solutions will be familiar with. And you can literally just toggle from this view to the list view back to this view. And I have a feeling that after using this view, you'll probably spend less and less time in the other view. I like this one very much. Your eyes are drawn absolutely to what should be your priority in terms of outstanding items or past due items, or vendors that are whose invoices are past due, things like that. And I know one of the changes that we've made already based on our focus group has been the bottom right-hand tile, which is outstanding items per workflow step. Now there's a toggle on that, which allows you to switch from workflow step to, is it individuals?
Yeah. That's how it works. So you can look at this either from the standpoint of workflow steps or individual persons handling the invoices, and see again, if somebody is on PTO, they may have a huge pile of invoices getting overdue.
Really interesting, and I love to see the development moving so quickly. That's the power of co-development and a beta program.
Indeed. Yeah, and I mean, I wanted to also speak a bit about the customer focus group, customer advisory group here. I mean, we have been collecting ton of input and feedback from some of you who have been part of this focus group, and with analytics, we are actually now in a state where couple of weeks back we released a beta version, meaning that customers who have been willing to be part of this group have gotten an early access to these dashboards, and we are collecting more feedback based on that. And by the way, if you are interested to join the beta program now or in future for our other development teams, just let us know. I mean, happy to work with as many of you as ever possible. But also there are a few examples on what kind of changes we do to our design based on the feedback we got. So as an example, we added these 3 more KPIs we mentioned earlier. Some of our customers, finance, AP directors wanted to also follow how much does it cost to process an invoice on average. And as Rowan told, automating the invoice process, that can drive substantial cost savings. So it only makes sense to actually measure, what is the cost per invoice. So based on the feedback, we decided to add that KPI to the screen, and now it will be available there in our next sprint release. So this is the process of co-design. So lots of good feedback, and we very concretely then react and change our design based on the feedback we do. We have an agile 3-week sprint cycle, which allows us to steer the direction based on the feedback we are receiving, and that way we can ensure that eventually the end result will be something that delivers value to many of you.
I like it. Sami, I got a quick question here. Is the dashboard only visible to those in accounting, or can all approvers see the KPIs for their workflow items?
Yeah, that's basically something you can control with the user rights in the system. So you can either let everybody see them, or you can just limit them to certain individuals in the AP department. So totally up to you.
Fantastic. Thanks for the question. So we are drawing to our 30-minute mark, and I think our timing's been pretty good. Just before Sami ties it all together, I just want to say, if anybody has some questions that pop into their mind, feel free to send them to us any way you can. I'm sure they'll get to me. And so Sami, do you want to give us a summary?
Yeah, I mean, to sum it up, I'm super excited about the progress on analytics, and looking forward to release the final version soon in June. And then we will continue towards payments and bringing all financial flows, including procurement, to our new modern platform. So it will be an interesting year, full of hard work together with our customer community, and definitely many great milestones and innovations delivered.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Sami. This has been a really concise and enjoyable 30 minutes with you. I appreciate it, and I look forward to the next time. I want to say thanks everyone for taking the time to join us in this sit down with Sami. I believe we'll send out the recording of this and maybe even the slides to everyone who registered. So if you're on this call, you'll get them, and then of course reach out to your account manager if you have any specific questions, and they'll find their way to us. Thanks again, Sami. Have a good night.
Thanks, Rowan. Thanks, everybody. Have a great rest of the day.
All right.